Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, we will create a real-time chat app using ReactJS with the help of Scikit.io. So let's check what we will build in this video. So this is the first page, that we will see. For example, this is the login page, that we will paste. First of all, the user should log in. So to log in, for that, just enter a random number, a unique random username. So for example, I have entered Yousaf. So after entering that, press login. So we will log in to the system. After logging to the system, you will see this page, your username, and here log out, and here write the message what you want to type or send. And let's open our application in another browser, Microsoft Edge. So I have opened my application chat app inside Microsoft Edge browser also. So let's here login also. For example, I will enter another name which is Arif and press login. So I have logged in as Arif. For example, Arif is sending a message. So let's write, "Hi, I am Arif." Press enter button. So after pressing the enter button, so here we can't see the image. The reason for that is we are not connected with the internet. So yeah, it will connect with the internet. So here Arif sent a message, "Hi, I am Arif." So let's move now to the Chrome browser. Here you will see that, "Hi, I am Arif." The message, we received the message. Let's send a message. And let's press enter button. So it will generate an image also avatar like, Logout that has updated, and also this one. So it will assign a random image for every user that log in to this real-time chat app. So I am Yousaf. Let's move to the Microsoft Edge. So here we will see I am Yousaf. So we have different, as you saw the WhatsApp. So the receiver and the sender message display is different from each other. The sender is at the right side and the receiver is at the left side. So it is how we can implement this real-time chat app. Let's send a message. Like this, or if you're sending this message like another question mark, enter it. Let's move to Chrome. So we will receive those two messages from Arif. Let's, for example, response nothing. Press enter. So this is how we can implement this real-time chat app. Nothing. So let's get started. To implement this real-time chat app using ReactJS with the help of Scikit.io. So if you want to log out from the system, just press this logout button. So it will log out you from the system, from the chat app, as in the here. So let's log out. Let's log in once again. Login. So we will see those messages. If we refresh the page, so we will lose the message because we didn't connect with the database. So we will store these messages, just for a temporary time. So after refreshing, the messages will go. We will not see the messages again. Let's refresh it. So we will not see any messages. So in the next video, maybe we will just extend this video to connect with a Firebase or any other MongoDB or MySQL database also if you want it. So but in this video, we will just implement it a temporary time. We will use local storage and with the React and Scikit.io. So let's get started to create our apps first of all. So let's create our React app. Let's open Visual Studio Code editor. Let's move to File tab and open folder. So we will open an empty folder, chat app. It is an empty folder. Inside this folder, we will create our React app. So to create React app, let's move to the terminal. Press Ctrl plus backtick. So after pressing that, now we will create our React app. Let's write npm create Vite. So we can also write like at latest. It means the latest version. So press enter. This will create our React app. Let's assign a project name. So we will not assign. So let's assign a name. That is front end. Front end. Press enter and select ReactJS. Select JavaScript. Now let's move to the front end. Cd front and to the front end folder, and here we will write npm install to install all the necessary dependencies and the packages. Let's wait for the completion of this installation. The installation completed. Now let's run our React app. Npm run dev. So it will run our React app. Let's press this URL. So it will open our React app. This is our React app. Let's change the title. So let's move to front end to the index.html, and we will change this title to chat app like this. Save it. Let's check it now. So the title has been changed. Now let's install a few packages that we will use inside our React app. So let's move cd front end, npm install Logish. Thank you. That was like this, and React icons. This Logish, the Logish will be used for random number generation. Later we will use it. Okay, and the last one is React icons and scikit.io client. Press enter. Yeah, I think the Logish, the spelling mistake inside Logish. Okay, that is not Logish, not I. So that is just a Logish. Okay, let's remove this a like this. Press enter. So now we will install these three libraries. So the installation has been completed. So after the completion of these libraries, now let's start our design. It means that we will design first of all our front end, then we will move to the server side, okay, to create our node app just for the scikit, okay, for the scikit.io to implement the code for scikit server. So let's move now to the src. And the src, let's remove yeah, we don't need this app.css. Come here to the main.jsx, and here let's remove this index.css, and app.jsx we will remove all this code, the default code that we had, and also let's remove this one and these things, all this stuff. So let's create a folder inside this src. The folder name is components. Inside this component, first of all we will design our login page, okay, to the login. Okay, so to design the login, for that let's create a page, user login.jsx RAFCE, to create component. So after creating the component, now let's design our login page. So to design the login page, for that let's move to our previous app and let's log out. See, we will design a page like this. So to design it, for that just come here, and first of all we will have just chat app, okay, with an icon, and then input field with the button. So let's, this is another div element. Inside this we will have icon for React. So let's import this icon for React. Okay, for React we should import it from React icons. Import React from React icons /fa6, and here we will have chat app. Down from that we will have another div element. Inside this div element, input field, and beside that a button. The button is just to log in. Placeholder, enter a unique name. So let's just import this user login inside app.jsx just to see it, okay, how it looks like. User login, save it. Now let's move to our browser. See, it looks like this. Okay, so now we will just add some CSS code to just design it, and it will looks like better. So for the CSS code, I will not just record it in the video because it will make the video lengthy. So then I will show you the code what I have implemented, what I wrote, okay, the CSS code. So let's first of all create a file in our root src file by the name of style.css. I will write the whole CSS code here. Let's first of all just add classes here. Class name, this is login container. We'll just add the class names, okay. login title, and here another class name, that is login form. We can name it form. Let's move now to the styles. Here I will write some CSS code for that. So let's check the CSS code. So this is for the title list code, display, flex, and line, and justify and margin. For the icon, for login form, for the input field, and for the button. This is CSS code that we have added. So now let's import this style.css inside user login. So to import that, for that let's write import double dot slash it move. It means to move from the component folder. Then here we will write style.css. Let's save it and let's open the browser. See, it looks like this. Okay, this is our chat app, but we didn't add the padding, so we will add just some padding to these input fields and buttons also. So let's move to the final result. This is the final result that we see. Okay, so now let's design our charts. Okay, the charts that we are receiving and sending. So we will design that page, and also let's check it. Okay, we will design this page. Let's insert a name, login. So we will design this page now. If we send a message like, okay, this one, so let's press enter. We sent a message, and if we receive a message, let's, for example, log in, and we just send a message, hello, and we send from two. Okay, Ali and Yousaf, we have these two chats, two user, and we will design this page now. So to design this page, for that let's move to our browser editor, and we will create a component, and we will assign a name chat container.jsx RAFCE. And inside this chat container, let's create a div element, and inside this div element we will now display these things. Okay, so username, this the channel name, and also the logout. So just come here, and first of all h4 for the username, we will just display username, and here we will display the username, whatever is the username, so we will display that. For example, Yousaf right now, this is a static. Okay, later we will just assign these names dynamically. And down from that we will display code with Yousaf. Okay, let's just print that inside a p tag, and here we will just print first of all an icon, YouTube icon. So for that let's import for YouTube, okay, from React icons. So after importing that, let's first of all print that by YouTube, and here we will just write code with Yousaf. Whatever you want to write, so you can write that. And down from that we will just print the logout. So for the logout, let's again we have p tag, and inside that strong, and we will just print logout. Chats header, this is chats header, and we will just assign a class name to this, which is icon, chats icon, because we need it. Chats logout. Okay, chats logout, chats icon, that is okay, and nothing else. Okay, h4, so that is okay. So now let's add some CSS code. So let's first of all check it. Okay, so it looks like, let's import the chat container inside app.jsx. Instead of this user login, we will import now chat container. Save it. Let's move to Chromebook. So it looks like this. Okay, we will add some CSS code now. Just come here to the style.css. This was all about the login. Just log in, and let's move down, and now here we will just print chat container, and down from that we will just add some CSS code. So after adding these 3 CSS lines, so our website, our page looks like this. Okay, just like this, username and name, whatever you want to display, and the logout. Okay, so now let's display the sender and receiver messages. So to display them, for that we will create another component by the name of chat lists.jsx RAFCE, and inside this we will display the messages. Okay, so to display the messages, for that I will create two more functions, or instead of creating functions, let's directly display the messages, or let's create a function. So here I will create a function and I will assign a name, sender chat, and also receiver chat. So first of all, we will display the message of sender chat. Okay, whenever a sender send a message, so how it will looks like on the page. So let's return, and we will return a div element. Inside div element, first of all, we will have an image, okay, to display the image of the user, and after that we will display the message. So in the message, let's write a p tag, inside the p tag strong, and inside the string we will display the username, like whatever is the username, like Yousaf. Okay, later we will change these to dynamic, but right now we will display them, and down from that we will display the message like this. So this is the so here, instead displaying the image, we will take a random image. So the random image that we will generate using, and we will take them from picsum. Let's come here to the picsum.photos. That is something like this, picsum.photos, and let's see, I just close this. Let's move to the website. Yeah, picsum.photos. So after opening it, we have different options. Okay, the images that we can directly copy the link, like this one. Okay, so for example, we want to open this image. So for that, simply copy this link and paste it here, save it, and let's copy this sender chat function and paste it, and we will change this to receiver chat also, receiver chat. So we have charts list. Now let's import this charts list inside the chat container, and down from this div element we will print that, we will import that charts list. I think that is chart list. Okay, import that, and let's check it now on the browser. So it looks like this. Okay, we have charts list. Now come here to the charts list. Instead of this charts list, let's import the sender chart and receiver chart. Save it, and let's check it now. So it looks like this. Okay, we have two images, and username and the message, and also the username and the message. Now we will add some CSS code to display the image smaller, and also just bring the sender messages to the right side and the receiver message to the left side, as we had at the demo, like this. Okay, we will display them like this. Okay, like this. So for that, let's move, and we will add some CSS code. Come here to the styles, charts, just chart list. So after adding this CSS code, let's check it. Okay, chat sender for the image, and for the p tag, okay, for the receiver, and for the p tag, because we will change the color. So the final result will looks like this. So now let's add input text field. Okay, at the last, at the bottom, we will have to add text. Okay, we will have input text field and a button to send the message. So for that, let's create a component, input text.jsx RAFCE, and inside this div element we will have a text area, and that is message name and ID message, and let's add rows are 6, and down from that we will have a button that is to send a message. class name. This is input text container. So let's import it inside chat container. This also come here to the chat container, and down from chat lists we will import the input text also. Input text. Save it and let's move to the browser, and it looks like this. Okay, so now let's add some CSS code. Also we will add the background color and design this input text field also. So for that, let's move to the styler CSS, and here we will add input text. So after adding the CSS code for the input text container, for the button, and for the text area, so the final result will looks like this. This is the final result, okay, of our page, the chats. So now let's add some color to the background also. So for that, let's move to the app.jsx, and we will just change this to div and add a class name app. Let's come here to the app, and let's move to the top, and we will add at the top. Here I will add some CSS code. So I have added these 3 lines of code: background color, max height, and padding. Let's check it how it looks like. Yeah, it looks like this. Okay, so let's just I think just remove this background padding. So to remove this padding, what will happen? So yeah, it looks like this, but we need to add something here. Steric, margin 0, padding 0, box sizing, border box. Yeah, so it looks like this. Let's come here now to the app.jsx, to the styles, and we will add here now padding 10 or 20 pixel. So it looks like this. So this is the final result. Let's just add some, just a margin. Okay, chart header, margin bottom 20 pixel. Yeah, so here we have added the margin bottom. So this is our static page, static app. Now let's make it dynamic, or to dynamically send the messages, receive the messages, and log in to the app. So for that, we will just move, first of all, just come here from where we should start. Come here to the chat container, and in the chat container, what we should do, we should print the username. Yeah, first of all, we should move to the input, okay, to the login. Okay, whenever we log into the system, so we will store our username in the local storage and also the avatar, and whatever is needed, so we will store the information there. So for that, let's move to the user login. So coming to the user login here, so let's create a state variable, const user name, set user name is equal to use state hook. And let's check, okay, whenever we change this input field, so we will store the name inside this username variable. So for that, let's add onChange event, and we will create an arrow function, and we will just call set username, and we will call, let's pass event e.target.value. So we will store whatever we write in the input field, so that will be stored inside this username variable. So whenever we click this login button, so on click, we will call another function by the name of, let's for example, handle user, like handle user. So let's create this function, const handle user is equal to, and this is an arrow function. Inside this user, first of all, we will check is there something in the username or not. It means that is there something in this username or not. If username, if not username, it means that if that was empty, so then we will just return. It means we will return nothing. If there was a name inside the username, so then we will store that username inside the local storage. So local storage dot set item, and we will just assign the key is user and the value is user name. So after storing that in the local storage, we will store avatar inside the local storage also. It means the image for this user. So local storage dot set item, we will the key is avatar, and after that for the image. Okay, so for the image we will copy that link as we had before. Come here to the chat lists. Yeah, just come here and copy this link and come here back to the user login and paste it here. We will just change this, okay, this number. Whenever we change this number, so it will change the image also. So let's do it. Okay, so to change this number, we will randomly take this number. So to randomly take this number, for that we will use the as we installed Ladosh. Okay, so let's import underscore from Ladosh. Okay, Lodash. Okay, from Lodash we will just import the underscore. So now instead of this number, we will use random function. So let's change this to backtick. And let's write here $, curly braces. Inside curly braces we will write underscore dot random, and this random function we will write from 1 to 1000. Between 1 to 1000 images, it will select one of them. These were the user information. Another variable that we will create inside chat container, we will name it. Let's create that state variable, can't user set user is equal to use state. So we will pass this set user method to user login component. So to pass that, for that, just come here to the user login, where we should call user login. So first of all, let's here we will just enter if the user was available. It means if the user was existed inside the local storage, so then we will display these information. If the user was not existed in the local storage, so then we will move the user to the login page. So we will implement this logic now. So for that we will just, by default, we will just write here local storage dot get item user. So we will get the default value of this user variable is that we will get from local storage. So now we will check if the user was existed. So what we will do, then we will print this data. Okay, so we will just print this data. Let's wrap it. Else, if the user was not existed, so we will print we will just call the login forum. Okay, user login, let's call that user login, and we will pass set user to that one. So let's close it, curly braces, set user. Okay, the logic here is that whenever we come here first of all to the chat container, we will check, okay, we will get the user from local storage. So after getting the user from local storage, we will check here. Okay, we will use ternary operator here. If the user was existed, so we will display the chats. Okay, if the user was not existed, so then we will move directly the user to the login forum, and we will pass this set user method to the login forum, and we will update this user from login forum. Okay, whenever the user login, so we will update this user. So to update that, for that, let's come here, and here we will get the set user method. So after getting that, now here we will just update that. So to update that, we will call set user, and we will assign the user name. We will assign username to that. So it is how it works. Okay, so let's check it now. Okay, first of all, that is okay. Let's come here to the browser, and we are at the home page. Okay, we are on the login page. Let's, for example, enter a name and login. So after logging, we directly come here to these chats, the chats that we had. These are the default chats that we had. So whenever we don't have the username, it means if we are not logged in, so then we will directly move to the login page. So right now we didn't implement the logout functionality. Whenever we implement that, so we will see that. So this was the logic. Okay, the logic that we have implemented, the login functionality, and also we check for the user. If the user was existed, display chats. If the user was not existed, move it to the login page. So now let's create our server side app. So to create our server side app, it means in our node app. So for that, let's move to our chat app, this folder, and we will create a new folder inside that. We will name it, for example, server. And inside this server, let's run a command. Take a new terminal and cd server, and we will just write npm init --yes. So it will create our node app. So after creating a node app, now let's run npm install. We will install express, cars, nodemon, and also scikit.io. Scikit.io is used for our real-time chat app, and nodemon is used to refresh our app whenever we make some changes, and cars is used for cross origin resource sharing, and it expresses the framework of our node.js. Let's press enter and we will install these packages. So the installation completed. Now let's come here to the package.json and just come here to the scripts. In the scripts, here we will add start nodemon app.js. So we didn't create app.js. Let's create app.js file inside server app.js. So now this nodemon will refresh app.js whenever we make some changes. So let's just come here to the app.js. Now let's import const express is equal to require, and we will import it from the express. So after the express, let's import HTTP protocol. HTTP is equal to require from HTTP. So after importing that, now let's import the server from scikit.io. Const server is equal to require, and we will just scikit.io .server. So after importing the server, now let's create our express app. Const app is equal to express. We will call the express function. So after creating our express app, now let's create the server, the scikit server. Okay, const server is equal to with http dot create server. We will call the create server method, and we will pass our express app to that. So after passing app to that, now let's just create a new server. We will just write like this. Okay, const io is equal to a new server, and to this we will pass this server that we have created, comma, then we will pass here the cars. Okay, so to the cars we will just specify the origin. The origin is static. It means all origins, all URLs, all websites can access this our server side app. So if you want to just restrict it, so you can add just your own front end app URL here. So let's save it. So after saving, now let's whenever we are on the connection, or whenever we it means that when we connect or disconnect, so we will print some messages, and also we will just emit the messages. So for that we will use io.on. So on connection, what we will get, socket create this method. Let's close this, and yeah, whenever we are on the connection, okay, the connection is on, so we will just print console.log that is connected. Okay, simple connected. So let's now print socket dot on chat whenever we are chatting. Okay, so for that we will do whatever is associated with this chat, so we will emit that. It means that we will use io.emit chat. So what does this mean? Okay, so socket.on, so whenever we are chatting, whatever we do, so this emit function that emit that, it means that it will just push them through all the users. How many users are there? So it will emit to all the communication to the users, so everyone can access them. So whenever we are disconnected, socket dot on disconnect. So on disconnect we will just print a message, disconnect. Now let's just down from that we will just write server.listen to the port number, for example 3001, and print a message, console.log running on 3001 port. So it is all our server side code that we wrote, okay, creating a socket server and then implementing the emit function. Okay, whenever we just update it means chat, so it will emit that, and the disconnect we will print disconnected, and the connection we will print connection, and finally we have run our server. So to run our server app, so for that we will simply run this command, server folder, and now just npm start. So it will start our server side app. Okay, so that is running on 3001 port. So now let's move back to our front-end code. Let's close this and also close this one. And now let's create connection with our server side app. So to create connection with that, just come here to the chat container. So first we will just import socket IO client from socket IO client. So after importing that, now let's use it, const socket IO is equal to socket IO client, and we will pass the URL of our server side, that is http localhost, and the port was 3001. So it will create connection with that. So after creating connection with that, now let's run use effect hook. And inside this use effect hook, what we will do, we will just write socket IO dot on chat. Okay, on chat what we will do, just comma and sender, like sender chats. Okay, the chats which are send it, set simply so whenever we run this use effect hook, okay, what it will do, but the first time whenever we come here, so it will run this use effect hook, and here we will just pitch, okay, we will get the chats and we will store them somewhere. So to store them, for that we will create a variable const chats set chats. It is an array with us because we are storing the array. So whenever we get the chats, so we will store them in set chats. Okay, set chats, and we will pass this sender chats. Okay, it means the chats that we have. Just simple name it chats, like this. Okay, for the first time, so it will run again and again this use effect hook. We will not write any array dependency at the last of use effect hook, so it will refresh again and again, and it will just refresh. It means that it will fetch the chats and it will store them inside this chats variable. So now let's print these chats dynamically. Okay, the chats that we get, so we will print them, these chats on the screen. So to print them, for that we will pass them to this chat lists. Chats is equal to with chats. So after passing the chats to the chat lists, now let's move to the chat lists, and here we will get the chats. So just come here to the just come here and to this div element. We will just, let's first of all check chat receiver chat. Yeah, I will just assign a class name chats list, chats list, and after adding this class name, let's first of all add a 2-3 line CSS code to this chats list class name. Just come here to the styles and chats header, and where I should add down from sender and receiver. Yeah, here I should add that chats list, and I will add height 75 vertical height, and scroll just overflow scroll, and overflow x hidden. So just add this code to the chatlets, this div element. Now inside this div element we will just use the chats, okay, that we got, okay, these chats. So let's use map function for that, chats.map, and we will get chat and index. And now let's print. Okay, so let's check. Okay, so to check that if that was the chat was is equal to the chat user was equal to with the user which is logged in, so we will send that chat to the sender. Okay, to the sender chat. If that was not equal to with that, we will send that to the receiver chat. But before that, let's first of all get the user. Okay, so to get the user, for that we will simply write const user is equal to local storage dot get item user. So just simply come here and we will write here if chat dot user was equal to with user, so then we will print this and we will call this sender chat. Control X and print it here. It means that we will return our simple. No, don't need. Just return sender chat. And to the sender chat we will pass now a few things like the avatar and the username and the message. So just come here now to send them. So for that, first of all, let's send message is equal to, and we will send the message that is chat.message, and after the message we will send the username, and we will just write chat.user, simple user. Okay, and after that we will send the avatar. Okay, avatar chat.avatar. So right now we didn't add any chats. Okay, that's why we don't have these things, but later whenever we add the chat, so we will see them, we will see on the screen. So this was to the sender chat, and also we can add key index, and the same thing will be done with the receiver chat also. If the chat that user was not equal to with the user, so then we will call the receiver chat. Let's copy this code, and down from that we will simply implement this. Okay, so just let's change the name, that is receiver chat, paste it, and now let's get message, username and avatar in these functions. Username and avatar, same thing. Let's copy this thing and paste it inside the sender chat. Now let's print them. Instead of this, let's print the avatar. Okay, and instead of this Yousaf, we will print the username, and instead of this message we will print message. And just come here, same to that, avatar, username, message, save it. So that's how we can display the messages on the screen. Okay, we will just first of all we fetch the charts. Okay, we had the charts inside these chats, this is an array. Then we pass that to the chart list, and in the chart list we checked that if that was for this user which is logged in, so we will send that to the chat sender chat, which will be displayed on the right side. If that was not for the sender, so then we will move that to the receiver chats. Okay, to the left side. So now let's add another functionality, that whenever we press this input text. Okay, so just come here to the whenever we write a message and we press the enter button, so we will add a new chat. So for that, just come here and to the code, and let's move to the chat container, and here we will create a function. So let's create a function, const add message is equal to, and this add message we will create function here, and we will pass it to the input text, and there we will update the chat. It means that let's just add a message, and we will get a chat from that input text component. what we will do inside this add message. So inside this before implementing the logic of add message, let's first of all pass this add message function to this input text component. So just come here to the input text, we will just add message like this. After passing that, now let's move to the input text and we will get it here. So after getting here, now whenever we make changes in this text area, so we will store the message somewhere. So let's create a state variable, const message set message is equal to use state hook, and just come here on change event, and we will create a function, and we will just call set message method, and we will pass e.target.value. Whatever we are writing, we will store that inside the message variable. So now whenever we press this send button, we will call another function. Okay, so let's call on click, and we will call add message function. Okay, let's create this one, and we will call add message, or we can simply call send message. Okay, send message, and we will just send message. So let's create this send message function. So after that, send message, and this is an arrow function, and we will call add message, and we will call an object to the add message. This object will contain just message, and we will call set message to an empty string. So we have just passed a function to this input text field, and then we have stored whatever we write in this input text field, text area. So we will store that inside this variable. So whenever we press this send button, we will call this send message function, and after calling this send message function, we will just call this add message function, and we will pass this message to that as object, and we will clear the value of this message. We can simply call it like this. Save it. Now let's move back to the chat container. So whenever we call the add message function from input text, we will get this chat. Now after getting this chat, now we will just create a new chat. So to create a new chat, for that let's write const new chat is equal to, this is an object with us, this means the chats. Okay, the all value this chat, and then we will have user. In this new chat, we will store the chat, the message that we have passed, and the user. We will get user from local storage.get item user, and also avatar. Local storage, we will get it from local storage.get item avatar. We have stored it whenever we were logged into the system. So if I try audit, let's close it here, and we will just it like that, and let's remove this one. Alt Shift F to format the document. So after creating this new chat, what we will do now, we will just update these chats. Okay, these chats. So to update the chats, for that let's call set chats, and we will pass our previous chats. Okay, so as that is in array, so we will write in array chats comma our new chat. So after that, what we will do, we will emit it. Okay, it means that we will send our chats to the socket. So to send them to the socket, for that let's create another function, const send to socket, and we will get chats here. Simply write like chat. So what I wrote, send to, this is an array function, and inside that we will write socket.io. We had the socket.io dot emit chat. So it will emit the chats. Now let's call that function send to a socket, and we will just pass the Yeah, but we should pass to that. Pass the same thing as we did here. Copy this one and we will pass the same thing as we did here. Close it. So this was all about. Okay, so first of all we have created add message function, then we passed it to the input text, then we have called that from this input text and we have passed the message that we have entered inside the input area. So after that we have created a new chart and we have then updated our charts and also send it to the circuit. So now let's check it. Okay, now we will just check it. Now let's move to the browser and let's first of all refresh it. So let's also implement the logout functionality. Okay, let's implement the logout functionality, then we will check if there was any error, so we will solve that. So to check the logout functionality, we will just implement here on click. We will call logout function. So let's create the logout function. Const logout is equal to, let's write local storage dot remove item. We will remove user. Local storage dot remove item. We will remove avatar also, and finally we will just call set user to an empty string. Okay, because we have the user here, this user variable. So just come here now to the browser, refresh it, and let's press this logout. So we have logout from the system. So after logging out from the system, now let's log in. Okay, so to log in, let's move to the second browser here also. Let's refresh it and let's log out. Yeah, so just come here to the Chrome and here I will write a name, Yousaf. Okay, let's press the login button. So I have logged in, but we don't have the image and there is just an empty message. So let's check send a message. Okay, user Yousaf, that is okay. In logout, let's write a message, hi. Let's send it. Yeah, the message has been sent successfully, that is okay. But let's move to the, yeah, the avatar has been added also. Just come here to the second one and let's log in. Ali, press login and let's send here a message, hello. Let's press enter. So we have this message. Let's move now to the Chrome browser. We have the message from, yeah, it means that we have problem with the connection. Okay, we didn't get the messages, okay, from each other. Yeah, here we have also the avatar problem. Yeah, so the first problem is that we are running here on port number 5173, but on the Chrome browser we have 5174. So let's copy this URL and we will paste it there instead of that. So let's press enter. So it will run now our that app. So let's refresh it now and also refresh it now. So let's now log in. You press login. So we have logged in, but we have here just this default receiver message. So we will check that. Okay, so we will check that also. That's our here Ali log in. So we have the default receiver message. So we will solve that error, but let's send message. What happened? Send message hi, and let's come here. Yeah, we get that from Ali hi, but the problem is that the avatar, okay, we can't get the avatar and also this default receiver message. So let's check the default receiver message. First of all, we will solve that, the default receiver message. So for the default receiver message that here we will add else. Okay, if it was not equal to, so then we will add here else return this one. Save it. Now let's check it. Okay, let's log out, refresh it, and also Chrome browser, log out and refresh it. Now let's insert into login, press enter. So again we have that. I thought that was a problem of, yeah, we have the receiver message again. So if return this one, else, Oh, sorry, yeah, we had here this one, okay, this extra line code. So let's remove this. That was whole problem of this one, the extra code that we had. So let's save it now. Yeah, that the error has gone. Yeah, I'm sure the error has gone now. Logout, let's insert login. Yeah, but the problem is that we are getting again. Yeah, let's remove the default code that we had for yeah, let's move to the default code that we had for local storage. Yeah, let's remove this. Where was that? I will just find the default name and message that we had. Yeah, where chat container, chat lists. Local storage, that git item. Let's move to the user login. I think that was here. Username, that is okay. Set user. Yeah, so that the default username was in chat container. So here instead of this, now we will display our username. Okay, so we will get the username from local storage. So let's, yeah, we will display just this user. Yeah, we got here local storage.get item. Save it. So now let's check it. Okay, everything is okay. Let's log out. Now let's log in as Kami and login. See, username Kami, that is okay. And also let's move to the edge and let's log out, and here we will insert as Johnny. Okay, and press login button as Johnny. So now let's send a message. So let's, for example, hi, I am Johnny. Okay, let's press send button. So the message has been sent. Yeah, the avatar has been okay. That is okay. Just come here to the this browser. See, we got this message from Johnny. Hi, I am Johnny. Let's send a message. Hi, I am Kami, and let's press send button. So let's wait for the avatar. Okay, that the avatar has been updated, and Kami, I am Kami. Let's move to the edge, and we received the message Kami, I am Kami. So that is how we can send messages and receive messages using ReactJS with the help of Scikit-io. So it was all about the chat application. So if you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel. Also like the video and comment down. Okay, thanks for watching.